We are going to talk about cloning and in vitro fertilization. Cloning is a replicate, a fragment of DNA placed in an organism so that there is enough to analyze or use in a protein production. Biotechnology practices applied in cloning. The molecular and cellular techniques of biotechnology allows researchers to genetically engineer organisms, modifying them to achieve desirable traits. Cloning may involve cloning small DNA fragments, molecular cloning, or cloning entire organisms. Cloning effects. Researchers have observed some adverse health effects in sheep and other mammals that have been cloned. These include an increase in birth size and variety of defects in vital organs, such as the liver, brain, and heart. Other consequences include premature aging and problems with the immune system. 3 cloning advantages. It removes the barrier of infertility. It could restore balance to families, and it could extend human life capabilities. 3 disadvantages of cloning. It is unpredictable and certain process. There are unforeseen consequences that we cannot predict. Cloned people could be treated like cattle. Other topics related to cloning. What is the current status of cloning? There currently is no solid scientific evidence that anyone has cloned human embryos. In 1998, scientists in South Korea claimed to have successfully cloned a human embryo, but said the experiment was interrupted very early when the clone was just a group of 4 cells.
In vitro fertilization is in itself a biotechnological process, since it uses biology and technology to achieve a pregnancy without the need of intercourse, though it may also use other practices of biotechnology, such as genetic engineering. This was the case in the 90s, when a mother couldn't give birth because of a genetic defect. Therefore, the doctors used genetic engineering to craft the genes of 3 different genetic parents and give them to the baby. This was a successful pregnancy, so he was the first human being born out of 3 genetic parents. Some effects of in vitro fertilization may be nausea, breast tenderness, bloating, mood swings, fatigue, allergic reactions, or mild pelvic and abdominal pain. Some advantages of IVF are: IVF helps many patients who would be otherwise unable to conceive. It has been used for a long time and has a safe track record. IVF can be more successful than UIU or intrauterine insemination and other forms of assisted reproductive technology. It can help single women and same-sex couples have kids. IVF can help to diagnose fertilization problems also. Other things related to in vitro fertilization would be genetic engineering. Like previously mentioned, in vitro fertilization and genetic engineering are highly connected. So, IVF is also linked to a really interesting part of genetic engineering, and that is designing babies. With IVF and GE, we can modify the DNA of babies and slowly but irreversibly change the gene pool of humanity, and curing a lot of diseases like malaria and others. Now, some disadvantages of IVF. IVF can increase the risk of multiple births happening if 1 or more embryos are transferred to the uterus. Premature delivery and low birth weight. Ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. Miscarriage. Irretrievable procedure complications. Ectopic pregnancy. Birth defects. And cancer.
Thank you for your attention.